Welcome everybody back to my channel. My name is Jacob Ferguson, and today we are going to be covering All Stars 9, Episode Uno. I wanted to do these in two parts because there is a lot to cover with the second episode and the first episode. And I haven't watched the second episode yet. I thought I was going to watch it with somebody, and turns out no, so I'm watching it by myself now. And I waited a day to watch it because of that. So I'm just now getting caught up. Tomorrow I will probably post the paintball one, but today I decided that I am going to record this and post it the exact same day of watching it. So Jesus be with me, please. I looked through all of the Instagrams of the queens. There is I want to try to start doing what I said I was going to do with the showing of photos and stuff like that, but honestly there isn't a lot right now that they're posting. So I am going to just leave it at that, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks I can show photos and stuff like that. Also, last week I had video block. I didn't quite know what I was going to talk about last week, so I didn't talk about anything. I recorded videos, but the videos were not good, so I decided not to post any. So let's talk about All Stars 9, Episode 1. So the queens enter the workroom, and the first queen up is Gottmik. Her hairline is the thing of legends. People don't quite know how it was able to be that customized. Gottmik's was literally the only picture that I could find up on the thing. She looks fabulous. I really enjoyed Gottmik this episode. Um, yeah, she's actually really an amazing performer and entertainer. I'm gonna just go ahead and talk about Gottmik this episode. Gottmik really surprised me, considering the fact that her first, um, girl group that she did, Congratulations, was she was in the bottom two sort of area for that, but she really surprised me. Um, the look tonight, they had to do a signature perfume, so I'll get into it. But she surprised me this episode, and we'll talk more about it. Let's talk about Roxy Andrews. If you don't know her entrance look, then you don't know the memes. The baby you can't read the doll meme has been circulating around. She looks beautiful. It is a tad bit basic, but now it's synonymous with the meme, so it's going to go down in infamy. Um, Her being the second one in, though, was wild to me, but hey. Up next is Vanjie. I just watched the episode, and it was Vanessa Vanjie Mateo. She cut the Mateo part out of her name, and honestly, I'm excited to see her back. But I do have a thing to say, and that the thing is that Vanjie's personality is good. I like it. I don't know. It was just a lot for the first episode. Each time there would be like background noise, it would always be Vanjie. And I'm like, oh, okay, she's still going. She's excited to be here. I'm not hating on Vanjie in any aspect. I'm just like, I can see how if I was in a competition setting and Vanjie was there, it could get very like cumbersome very fast. So I don't think that she's gonna slow down at all this season, which is okay. But I'm still like, I'm a cat, but I'm still like, ugh, okay. And that isn't an ugh, okay, as in like I hate her. I love Vanjie. It's just like it was a lot this episode. Up next, walking in was Angeria Paris Van Michaels. Loved the look. If it was just a tad bit basic, but again, it's an entrance look. It's not supposed to be the most glamorous that we've ever seen you. I mean, and she looks good. I'm excited to see her back because I'm excited to see what she can do. And up next is Nina West. Now, if you've watched my All Stars 9 promo video, you know that I'm going to be treating Nina West like a competitor. That doesn't mean that I have to support her, but they're giving us things so that way we can see her. They're creating storylines for her, so that way we can see what she's doing. And honestly, it'd be hard for me to cut around Nina West or omit Nina West, especially if she's going to be in the top a whole lot. It's just better for me to talk about her. Just know Free Palestine, ceasefire, and let's just be adults about this, okay? Nina West's look was nothing to really gag over. I'm gonna give her props when she needs her props, but I'm not really impressed by Nina West right now. This episode for me, she was just kind of weird. It was almost like it wasn't Nina West. Everybody remembers Nina West, right? Everybody remembers Nina West, season 11 Nina West. How iconic and how Nina West she was. And this one, she just seems kind of like subdued. I don't quite know why. She just does. I don't know. I don't like it. Bring old Nina back. Not old Nina. Don't bring back the feet licking, but bring that personality back, because I don't want to see subdued Nina West. It's kind of like what Silky tried to do on season 6 of All Stars, and it's like, no, bring back the personality. Oh my gosh, 1 second. Up next is Plastique Tiara from season 11. She's beautiful. I'm excited to see what she can do with this platform. She looked great. I just want to get into the meat of the episode, so that's why I'm zooming past all of these people. Georges also looked great, as did Chanel. Chanel's was a Medusa-inspired entrance look. Both of their lines were about like smoking weed, and then Chanel's was about the Medusa thing. So honestly, I'm excited to see both of them back. I'm excited to see what they can do. So yeah, let's talk about the episode. So at the start of the episode, RuPaul comes into the workroom and is wearing a beautiful benefactress badge. Challenge. Make your badge things easier to say. Do that challenge. Because people are going to review this and they're going to be like, just call it a badge. You don't need to call it the beautiful benefactress badge. Just say you win a badge or you win a star. You win a heart-shaped little piece of metal. No money for you, but for your charity, you win $10,000 if you win lip sync. I get that they want to do this for charity, and honestly, I like this idea. I think that this is what All Stars 7 should have been, because it would have made a lot more sense for queens that had everything and had a crown to do that. Beautiful benefactress. Instead of queens that legitimately are just coming back for a second or third time, not getting money, but instead having to give their money to charity. Which is fine. I want to say giving to charity is great. But, you also have to do, other things. I think that, again, this is what All Star 7 should have been. And I think that we should carry this forward. I think that every single other All Stars should be for charity from now on. So, the reading challenge happens. Gottmik, Roxy, and Gottmik and Roxy did the best at the reading challenge. Who did the worst? Probably Plastique, just in my opinion. Um, and so Roxy wins the reading challenge, well deserved. And RuPaul goes, okay, you're gonna be writing and recording verses like they have for the past three All Stars. Um, to Drag Queen Save the World. And our extra special guest judge from Nope, Keke Palmer. I love Keke Palmer. She's amazing. She was on Legendary. She was in the Ice Age movies. That's where I first heard of her. And she was obviously Emerald in Nope. And she just is an amazing person. So they start doing choreography. Obviously, they don't want us to hear the verses and stuff. And it's all about how drag queens are not the enemy and all of that sort of stuff. Very topical of what they are doing. And honestly, all of them did very well this episode. First off, we get a performance by Mama Ru. See that high heel thing from Hamburger Mary's? I wanted to take that and bash myself in the head with it when Mama Ru started doing her little song. Other challenge. No more Mama Ru songs, please. I don't need it. I don't need to see her do a touch step. You know, it's very, very jarring to me to see her doing all of this sort of stuff, and there are dancers whizzing around her being fabulous. And then the actual challenge, Georges and all of these other queens are just pumping and all of that sort of stuff. Meanwhile, RuPaul's just doing her little shimmy. It's like either put 110% into what you're doing, or don't do it at all. You're not putting 110% into a little touch step. Don't do it then. Just let's get to the episode. Give us more time with the queens. We don't need you. So anyway, that's my opinion on that. Everybody did well. I am gonna call out the weak performances though. Nina West, what was that? Her verse went by like that fast, which I guess for people who really despise Nina West, that's a good thing. For me, I was very confused during it, and then after it was over, I was even more confused. I was like, that's it? It didn't sound like Nina West because she was singing it. She didn't look like she was doing anything. It was like, okay, so you've chosen to be bad, okay. And I'm also going to call out Chanel. She didn't know the words to her own lyrics. She was trying to do, like, the classic drag thing of, like, during it, and I pointed that out. They did not zoom in on her face. They kept it full body shot, so we could just see her body. And she was trying to do the steps, but her mouth wasn't moving it correctly. And I also have to call out Roxy Andrews because I just her performance was not necessarily the best. Wasn't the best. Sorry. So those were the bottom three, and if I had to put somebody in the fourth spot, it would probably be Gottmik, but Gottmik did really well. So the top five, bottom three, for me at least, were that. Those were the queens that I thought definitely, if there was a bottom and they had to snip one of them, it would probably be those three. Let's talk about looks. Category in the runway is signature look, signature scent. It's a branding challenge also in this. And also, I wanted to see Thick and Juicy come back. Roxy Andrews was the only person to do a perfume related challenge. I think that it would have been funny if she'd said, I'm bringing back Thick and Juicy. Um, so let's start with who else? I'm going to just go in the order that they walked in on. Gottmik. Gottmik's look was Crash. A spike ball type perfume bottle. Honestly, really pretty perfume bottle. Really like hard and dangerous perfume bottle. And I could see Gottmik doing something like this, you know, Crash, like spike ball, battle, roar, crash the system. It was very beautiful. If a tad bit basic on her part, it was a simple dress with a chain around it. Her face was the white face paint that we have seen before, which is fine. I'm not going to look at her face paint and go the way that she paints her face and go, no. Everybody has their own signature mug. I'm not going to try and stop that. But I do believe that she could have worn something a lot better. Just in my opinion. So I'm going to give this a cream. Because it looked really good. But yeah, I'm gonna bring back Cream and Crunch this time around. Let's go to Roxy Andrews, the Never Sent Home perfume. I think that this was a funny nod to All Stars 2. The fact that she could not be sent home because of Relaskatox. Let's just call it how it is. It was Relaskatox. In fact, each time she was in the bottom, except for once, the queen that won the lip sync was part of Relaskatox. The only other thing was Tatiana versus Alyssa, and they had a storyline with Fifi. So that is why Roxy didn't go home then. But Relaskatox really gathered her together on All Stars 2 and dragged her kicking and screaming into the finale. Roxy's look, Roxy's perfume bottle was beautiful. Her look, I didn't quite understand. It didn't necessarily match the aesthetic of the perfume bottle, but she looked beautiful. I think in terms of branding, it's gonna be a crunch for me, like the branding of the dress with the bottle. But she gets a cream for the look. By itself. Also, Gottmik gets a cream for her performance. Roxy gets a crunch. Let's go on to Vanessa Vanjie Mateo, Toxida. Honestly, when I think of Vanessa Vanjie Mateo, I think get those cookies, Miss Vanjie. She could have done like a Barbie doll type theme bottle. I don't necessarily think of Toxic Gas. I would think of Nina West before I thought of her for that. But I do really enjoy this look. It was really well done. Vanjie gets a cream for her performance. And the look and the bottle were both synonymous with each other, so she gets a cream for that as well. Vanjie really surprised me. And I mean, I'm not going to take back what I said about like the whole personality thing. I think that is that was something that was kind of minorly annoying, but hopefully she gets better with the next episode. Next up, let's talk about Angeria. Southern Belle. Loved it. Loved it. The look, great. The perfume, great. Her performance, great. Check, check, check. All the way down. It was beautiful. Tonight she really surprised me. Because remember, Catwalk. She didn't do that well. She did well on her other challenge, but that was a themed girl group challenge. So this one, she did really well. So she gets an all cream for me. Next up is Nina West. Crunches all the way down. Her perfume was called Criminal, which when I think of Nina West, I don't think Criminal. I think of Disney, and I think of Miss Congeniality, and I think of Hairspray. And she comes out looking like the Penguin from Batman Returns. It did not look great. She looks like a Beetlejuice knockoff. It did not look great. It was not form fitting. It was ugly. She gets crunches all the way down this episode, from her performance to her runway to even the bottle. It just didn't scream Nina West, and I don't understand why, because I don't think that her brand. She's trying to be JoJo Siwa before JoJo Siwa was Karma. She's trying to make it all about like this rebrand of her being like not a miscongeniality, and it's not working. She needs to go back to the drawing board on that. This look was a crunch. She was a crunch today. I'm sorry. Next up is Plastique Tiara. This look, I walked around my room going, how? How is this beautiful? First off, one set of wings, boom. Second set of wings, boom. Biblically accurate. Angel, beautiful. I don't even remember. Oh, it was Fantastique by Plastique. It was a great perfume, wasn't it? It was probably the best runway of the week and the best perfume bottle of the week. Though the last one that I'm going to talk about did give it a run for her money. Plastique gets creams all the way down this episode. She looks fabulous. Next up is Gorgeous. Right? Yeah. Yep, Gorgeous. Little Chiquita. I think that's how you say that, I hope. I'm sorry if that was wrong. She looked great. It was giving Gorgeous down. It was beautiful. Loved it. Just a really great time. A really fun fragrance with notes of marijuana and VCR cleaner. Just really funny and great. Gorgeous surprised me this episode. She gets all creams all the way down. She looked beautiful, and all of her performances have been really great this episode, and I'm excited to see what she does next. I really am. She looks great. Her verse was great. Next up, let's talk about Chanel. She's last up, next up, last up. Listen, I gave her shit on her performance because she didn't know the words. However, this look was so beautiful. It is my favorite look on the runway tonight. I don't know if I'm going to say that a lot about Chanel, but she looked so beautiful. It reminded me of Kiki Ko from season 4 of Canada's Drag Race. But the thing about Kiki Ko's look was that she made that shit by herself in a day. This look was not made by Chanel, I don't think, but she looks so beautiful. Chanel number 1 was the perfume thing, which is a reference to the Chanel bottle, Chanel fragrance line. She looked so beautiful. She gets a crunch, but 2 creams for the way that all of it looked. She looked so beautiful tonight. It was great. So anyway, the top 2 are Angeria versus Gorgeous, which I agree with. I think if Plastique, I don't know. I think the Plastique could have been in the top 2 over Gorgeous. Vanjie, I think it was the perfume that got it a little bit mixed up. But I think that Plastique could have been in the top 2 over Gorgeous, but Gorgeous also was really great. So honestly, they were my top 3 of the week. And Angeria versus Gorgeous, they lip synced to $1 Million Bill, the Freemason edit by Whitney Houston. And It's Angeria's song. This was Angeria's song. She said that she was going to give us Park and Bark. She didn't park, but she did bark. She was running around with one of the handkerchiefs and just being a church lady. Georges was trying to give, but I think the problem with Georges's lip sync style is that she dances practically everything. It is not on like if you gave this bitch a ballad, I doubt very seriously that she would not be in the first 5 minutes, the 5 seconds of doing it. If you gave her "And I Will Always Love You" by Whitney Houston, I don't know if Georges could do that successfully, but I know Angeria could. She just looked so radiant in her dress, and I also really liked Georges's performance of this. Obviously, they did the Freemason edit because they wanted it to be more dancey, which I hate. Look, give me a slow song. Give me a Park and Bark. Give me an emotional song. The last time that I really was like an emotional song was probably season 8 with Chi Chi DeVade, and I'm telling you I'm not going. But like I really want to see more of that and not just a random ass Freemason edit. Don't give me a Freemason edit. Because Million Dollar Bill is a dance song. You can dance to it. But Angeria looked radiant. She won the lip sync, which I agree with. And they brought out the Ruby Snippers. Great parallel to the Wizard of Oz Ruby Slippers. And she snipped Roxy Andrews, which I think is the smartest idea. It was either going to be her or Nina West. But considering the fact that we've seen it before, where a comedy queen gets snipped or blocked, and then the next episode's a design challenge, like this time, it's like you just wasted your snip on somebody who you know is not going to win. So, snipping, I would have either snipped Plastique Tiara or Roxy Andrews. I'm glad that Roxy got snipped, because that way it establishes you've been here 3 times, time to let other people win. I don't like that they can still win a challenge and money for the chair. I think it would be a lot better if it blocked them from even winning the challenge. That's just my opinion, because then it's like, well, what's the point? I mean, there is a point for charity, but like, what's the point if you're not going to be able to win money and like win a badge or move yourself forward in the competition? What's the point of even putting them in the top 2? So anyway, that was All Stars 9 episode 1. Honestly, it was okay. I'm really excited to see where we're going from here. I'm probably gonna pop off of this, and then tomorrow I will upload All Stars 9 episode 2. My top 3 are Angeria, Plastique, and Roxy. Mayhaps with Chanel up there. But those are my top 4. Who do you guys want to win? Leave a comment down below. And Gottmik. Gottmik's great as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.